Welcome to the TSD Mindfulness video for teaching number 28. Again, we're in the list of teachings that is called How to Integrate with Divine Flow. And we're on the second teaching on that list, which is Concentrate Consciousness Within the Heart Field. So again, divine flow can be defined as a continuous, pure energy that provides spiritual direction and sustenance. Christians speak of the living waters, which for the most part means sustenance. And Buddhists refer to the river upon which our thoughts come and go. So there's this recurring theme of a river in a lot of different spiritual traditions. In addition, those who participate in spiritual psychedelic rituals, they often experience a flow of energy that supports all that exists. So very interesting, this idea of this flow of energy, this divine flow, it shows up in a lot of different religions and spiritualities. So integration means becoming conscious of this flow and allowing the force to carry you. So that's key, that it's becoming conscious of the flow. The flow is always there. The divine flow is always moving through us, but through this practice, we become more conscious of this experience. When we disengage from our mental field, then we will integrate. When we disengage from our gut field, we will integrate. We're letting go of these two fields, really having our consciousness in our heart field and becoming quite aware of divine flow. So the TSD mindfulness is a process, and we need to concentrate to move through the process. So this concentration is important. This involves a will. We use our will to concentrate through these steps of this process, which is taming your mental field, soothing your gut field, moving your attention into your heart field, and integrating with divine flow. And our will is associated with the mental field. So yes, we are using our mental field to guide us through this process. So we will use our will to place us at this point of transition from relying on the mental field and the gut field to letting go of that and relying on divine flow. So it's an experience of transition, and we use our will to get us to that point of transition. But once we make that transition, we release our will as well, because we are kind of disengaging from our mental field, which is where the will is. So we don't have will when we're in this integration experience. But once we traverse this threshold, we no longer need concentration, because divine flow takes over steering our attention. So will is where we use our will to steer our attention through this meditation. But once we're integrated, divine flow takes over steering our attention. So it's a very interesting experience. So there's some challenges to get there, right? And one of them is concentration can be difficult in the heart field. This involves moving your attention to your heart field. And there are some reasons why having your concentration in your heart field is difficult. So take a moment to consider what these reasons might be. One of them is the physical sensations in the heart area feel subtle, and that's part of it. As you notice, you have your eyes closed and you notice what the physical sensations in your heart area feel like, and that can feel subtle, so it's hard to concentrate on that. But probably even more important is the idea of pain avoidance, right? We have pain in our hearts. We have joy there too. We have joy, we have gratitude, but we have sadness and we have pain also. And so we can unconsciously be kind of moving our attention away from our hearts because we don't want to experience the pain that's there. So that can make the experience hard. So that's why a big part of this practice is creating space for those difficult emotions and embracing them and giving yourself compassion and holding space for those emotions, because we really need to do that to be in our hearts. Another reason that this can be difficult to concentrate on our heart field is because we don't really have a lot of control. When we're working with our mental field, taming our mental field, there is a sense of, some sense of control. A lot of mindfulness teachers wouldn't like to use that word, but you have agency there. You have techniques and things that you could do in your gut field. You have these ways of influencing your nervous system and soothing your nervous system. But in the heart field, when it comes to some of those really deep emotions of pain or joy, whatever they are, on a deep level, we don't really have control over that experience. And we don't want to control that experience. That's not going to be good for our healing process. So that's part of the healing process, is letting go and allowing these emotions to be there and exist without us controlling them. But at the same time, it can feel very overwhelming. We might not want to, it might feel uncomfortable. And another reason why it might be hard to keep your concentration in your heart field is because there's sabotaging going on. Our mental field is sabotaging the experience by pulling us out of a very innocent experience, emotion of rejection, for example, and pulling us out of that and moving us into blame, an experience of blame. So we're sabotaging that true, authentic heart experience. Or we might have an emotion, a betrayal that comes up, and then that triggers our nervous system. And so we've kind of sabotaged that experience as well, and kind of pulled us out of the heart and more into this fight or flight experience. So yeah, there's lots of reasons why it's hard to be there. So just be gentle with yourself, give yourself compassion, patience, that it can take time, and to get to a place where you really feel like your consciousness truly is in your heart. And so there are lots of techniques for getting better at that. And those are in teachings 23, 24, 25, and 26. So like I said, I don't have videos for those, but you can read those teachings, and they really help you learn some ways to move your attention into your heart. But I'll just go over it real quickly. One of them is embracing uncertainty, and we've practiced that in the meditations, which is you think of 3 things that you can say, I don't know the outcome of this event in my life, and that's okay. So that letting go of knowing is part of the process of really truly being in your heart field. Self-compassion is a wonderful way to keep your attention in your heart field, paying attention to the physical sensation. So if you have a bout of sadness that just comes through, say you're grieving, then allowing or noticing how that sadness feels. Sometimes we really feel that heaviness in our heart. That can be helpful for keeping your attention there. And as you do this practice longer, noticing rhythmic essences, and what that is are this rhythmic type energy that represents what drives you. Might drive you for 10 years. I mean, this is something that can last quite a while, right? So these different things that drive you. So that might be this energy of just putting one foot in front of the other, like that's maybe part of your personality that's driving you. What is it that's driving you? A need for connection with other people. That might be something that's driving you. So when you do this work, you might notice some of those rhythmic essences. Another one is noticing themes. That's even deeper than rhythmic essences. Themes are these struggles that are kind of like why you are on this earth. Like you're working out this struggle, like they're big. They're these big struggles. It might be a struggle between success and failure. It might be a struggle between filling my needs versus filling someone else's needs, and those type of like tug and pulls that we struggle with for maybe a good part of our lives. So those might become more evident as you do this practice, and they help keep your attention in your heart field. If you lose focus, be kind to yourself and gently call upon your will to keep your attention steered towards your heart field. All right, and this is the conclusion of the TSD Mindfulness video for teaching number 28.